Today we are going to discuss subtracting of integers using the number line. How do we subtract integers? So, kung babalikan natin yung lesson natin sa addition of integers, kailangan natin ma-recall. So, we have the rule 1, meaning adding up integers with same sign and different sign. So, we are going to apply those rules in subtracting integers because the reverse process of subtraction is simply the addition or vice versa. And now, we have the rule we have to subtract an integer, just simply add its opposites. Ano ibig sabihin ng statement na to? Just simply states that for all numbers, let's say they are A and B, and therefore we can say that A minus B, and therefore we are going to say that A plus negative B. Anong ibig sabihin nito? So meaning, yung first number mo, or this is called the minuend, and the second number is the subtrahend. Yung minuend, ito yung binabawasan. Yung subtrahend ay ito ang binabawas doon sa minuend. And therefore, the rule is simply you're going to change the sign of the operation. From subtraction becomes addition. Okay, because this is the reverse process and the sign of the subtrahend will be changed. So, ganun lang ang rule ng subtract. Now, let's have example number 1. We have negative 2 minus negative 4. The first step that you are going to do is just simply copy the minuend. So, just bring down mo lang siya, negative 2. And then, the operation is minus, i-reverse mo siya, magiging plus. And then, the subtrahend is negative, becomes positive 4. And therefore, this is now under for addition rule, which is different sign. Just simply, 4 minus 2 is simply 2. The question is, bakit positive 2? Because the absolute value of positive is greater than the negative 2. Okay, and let's have number 2 example. How about negative 2 minus 3? Step 1 natin ay just copy the minuend. We have negative 2. And then from subtraction becomes addition rule. And then from positive becomes negative. Change the sign. And therefore, this is now under a rule for addition, same sign. And that is, just add the absolute value and copy the common sign, which is both negative. And therefore, that is now the answer. Now, how are you going to show the given examples of 1 and 2 using the number line? So, let's have number 1. So, means this is, you're going to move 2 places going to left, meaning this is negative 2. So, just simply write negative 2. And therefore, you're going to subtract negative 4. Because the reverse process of subtraction is just simply addition. Kaya instead of going to left, magre-reverse ka ng direction, going to right. Therefore, that is minus 4. And therefore, if you're going to simplify this, just simply negative 2 plus 4, and that is positive 2. This is now your answer, meaning this space is positive 2. And we have another example number 2 using the given example, negative 2. This is the step or yung units mo. And then another step, negative 3. Yan. So, nag-move ka ulit. Therefore, what are you going to do? Simply, negative 2 minus 3. So, meaning, instead of mag-minus ka, i-reverse mo siya, kaya going to left side naman tayo. And therefore, you just simply negative 2 plus negative 3. And therefore, this is now negative 5. Same with this answer. So, also the number. How are you going to find the difference of these integers? Just simply using the rule for subtraction. Okay, so meaning the given example number 1, we have negative 10 minus 10. Just simply copy the minuend, which is negative 10, and reverse the sign. This is plus now, and this is negative. Because this is positive becomes negative. If you're going to combine negative 10 plus negative, this is rule number 1 for addition, and this is negative 20. Common sign sila. And number 2, we have negative 15 minus negative 12. Just simply copy the minuend, which is negative 15. And this is reverse becomes plus, and this is now becomes positive 12. If you are going to get the sum, just simply proceed to addition rule now, because this is rule number 2, opposite sign. Meaning 15 minus 12, just simply 3. Since the absolute value of negative is greater than the positive, just just copy the negative sign. And we have number 3, we have 7 minus 9, just simply copy the minuet 7, and proceed to addition plus, and this is negative 9 because you are going to change the sign. And this is now rule number 2, the different sign. Just simply 9 minus 7 is simply 2, and since the absolute value of negative is greater than the positive, copy the sign negative. And that is now the answer for number 3. And now we are going to proceed to number 3. We have negative 8 minus negative 8. How are we going to do that? Just simply copy the minuend, negative 8, and proceed to addition rule. From minus, magiging plus, and reverse the sign of the subtrahend becomes positive 8. And you are going to get the sum. This is now rule number 2. This is the addition for different sign. We have 8 minus 8 is simply 0. And that is number 5. Just simply copy the minuet and change the operation from subtraction to addition, and then change the sign of the subtrahend. This is now becomes positive 10. Or simply, this is rule number 1, common sign or both positive. Just simply 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. And now the last number, we have 15 minus negative 12. How are you going to do that? Just simply copy the minuet. We have 15 and change the sign of the operation from subtraction to addition, and this sign becomes positive 12. And therefore, you can now proceed to addition. That is same rule for same sign. That is 15 plus 12 is equal to 27. Bakit positive 27? Because they are both positive. Now it's your turn. You are going to find the difference of these integers using the rule for subtraction of integers. Don't forget to leave your answers below.